Well, we have another one that's arrived. The little black one, AV08, that I was using as a daily before I got the blue one, has sold. So I went straight out and bought another one. Another 08. Again, a Copart car. It's got no damage. It's unrecorded, according to them. There's not really any issues other than paint. So I'm wondering whether it's a dealer, put it in as a Part X or whatever. So yeah, so we have got that on the rear plinth. I think that's had a sticker on it or something and someone's tried to peel it off. Look. We have, what else have we got? Lovely graphics down the side. Bit of a scratch there. I noticed some paint crazing on the front wing. Unfortunately, they've put Mercedes badges on it, but never mind. There is some horrible LED type lights on it as well. Around this side. That needs sorting out. A couple little scuffs in the corner. Again, Mercedes badges on the wheels. Oh dear. We have that, unfortunately. Not a lot we can do with that, I don't think, really. This door handle doesn't work. As you can see, there's no lock in here either. So we need to swap that over. And then that's about it, really. Oh, rear wiper's missing. Typically, we sold the tailgate off that one the other day, and that probably had a wiper on it. Never mind. Right, let's have a look inside. Right, hopefully it won't be a black hole in here, but we have electric mirrors. We have aircon. We also have, what I have noticed, I don't know if you won't be able to see that, no. Under there is the under-seat subwoofer. We have an armrest. This door does open from the inside, so we've just got to change the handle. It's a glove box one. So it's an early one, but with a few options in it. The cup holder. Again, it's a bit like a dark hole, I'm sorry. We have got a sun strip on here, which we need to remove because that's a bit nasty. The pano roof, again, is, I don't know if that's dirty or crazed. I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Chances are it's crazed. We've got this visor, but it seems to be, oh, yes, that's not working properly, so we need to sort that out. What else? Not a great deal. If we start it, starts fine. Let's just switch that off. So we've got 108,000 miles. We've got a full tank of fuel, but we do have the exclamation mark on. Now that means traction control and ABS, I think. So we'll quickly plug the code reader in and see if that brings anything up. And then we'll get it on the lift and see what it's like underneath. And I'll go through the last MOT advisories. There isn't an MOT on this, it's run out. So we'll have a look at the last MOT advisories and see what we can find. So let's get the code reader first. Right, so the OBD plug is under here, down there. I'll plug this in. There we go. Oh, I think that's in. Right, so we've got the snap-on code reader. Need to scanner. Right, hang on. Let's see if I can get you to see this. Kind of. Right. So let's scroll down to smart. There. Right, and it is a 2008 automatic ID, ignition on, oh, switch ignition off. Okay, Wait for timer. Switch ignition on. Okay. Turn that off. Continue. Come on. There we go. Right. So it's found the car. So okay. Code scan. Right hand drive. Here we go. Right, so we have one code. ABS. Switch ignition on it is. Code. CAN communication with the steering angle sensor is faulty. Right. So we might need a steering angle sensor. So let's come out of that. Clear code. Yes. Clearing codes. Okay. So let's do a code scan again, just to see if that comes back up. So yeah, it looks like it's come straight back. So anti-lock brakes, CAN communication with the steering angle sensor is faulty. So C1311. So let's do some Googling and see what that is. So there's no point in clearing that this time. So we'll just switch this off and unplug it. Right, so within our scanner, we have calibration of steering angle sensor. Now, obviously, the fault code was that. So let's go in that. Test precautions. Vehicle is stopped. The steering wheel must be in a must not vary more than 10 degrees from the middle position. Front wheels must be straight ahead position. Right? It is. The wheels are straight. You can't see, but it is. So we'll continue. Move steering into straight ahead position, which it is. Front wheels must be straight ahead. Start. Calibration was not successfully carried out. Ensure steering angle is not displaying more than plus or minus 10 degrees when wheels are straight. Okay, so that tells me that we've probably got a faulty sensor. So that is behind the steering wheel. What I will do is have the one out of that and then fit it to this, and we'll try this again and see what happens. Right, so I've undone the 3 bolts on top of the bumper to be able to pull this back, to be able to get behind here, to be able to get this tat out. So the 2 grills have had LEDs, you know, drilled and glued in, and there was a load of wire all bound up around the core support in there. So I've just popped that out, I've got to get my hand behind, cut it out, jobs are good. Now the wire does go off, you can't see, I know, but it goes off there through the grommet into the car. So once it's back on the floor, I'll pull that through and find out where they've wired it to. And I'm going to nick the grills off of that support, off of that bumper, and put them in, so that's back to normal. And I'm going to remove these horrible carbon eyebrows. Ugh. Right, so I got the grills off, put the basic ones back in, and I thought, oh, them number plate screws look horrible. Look how bloody long they are. I'm surprised I ain't gone for the radiator. So I've got a couple of short ones, I'm just going to put them in. I haven't got any caps, unfortunately, black caps, but we'll worry about that later. We'll at least get these horrible screws out. Well, that's quite a bit improved. Eyebrows off. I've cleaned the headlights up. I think they need a quick whiz over with the DA. And we've changed the number plate screws, so now you can't see them. They don't look awful. And the hideous LEDs are gone. Right, so let's move on to the back now. Oh, I'm going to do that sun visor as well when it's back on the floor. But let me just show you what's going on at the back. Right, so under here, it was advised oil leak. Well, it looks like it's had a new filter. And it looks fairly clean under there. Offside brake pipe. Well, that's nice and clean. So that's been cleaned up and done. Shocks have got a misting of oil. They look nice and clean. So we ain't got to worry about them, I don't think, both sides. That brake pipe's okay. And obviously because the light's on, the traction control light, I've cleaned up, not that you can see, but I've run some paper and a wire brush over the reluctor rings, and I've had a look at them rotating, and I can't see any brakes in them. So yeah, it said heat shield loose. Well, the heat shield used to be up there on the manifold. It's not longer there, so that's not going to rattle anymore. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I've just changed the number plate light because that was all broken, but obviously I've left it hanging out because I don't know if that bulb's any good, so I need to check the lights when it comes down. Other than that, on the back here, it's all right except for that wiper, so that shouldn't cause us any problems. So I'm going to drop it down and get that sunshade thing off and test that bulb. I love finding some people's bodgery. So them little LEDs in the front bumper, as opposed to connecting them to the side lights in the front, they've run a wire all the way through the car, all the way up to the back, and connected them to the back lights. Go figure. So right, I've pulled all the wire out, so we'll disconnect those first.
To see there's cars out there for not a lot of money, let's say under 1,800 quid, that have an enormous amount of life left in them. Enormous. And can be satisfying and fun, but also deeply practical. I like the idea of the sort of 90s patterned Japanese
Better. Fix the door handle. Just wasn't connected. Don't know why. I mean, the lock barrel's missing. I could put another lock barrel in there from the donor car, but then that'd have to have another key. I don't know, I'll see. But yeah, so it works now. Right, next job. Well, we've been for an MOT this morning and it did fail. It failed on a worn wishbone bush, which now I've taken the wishbone off. You can see it's fell out. Advised the other one because it had a bit of play, so we're putting a couple of brand new ones on. I'm just waiting for them to be delivered. And no horn. So where I've changed the, what's it called? You know what I mean, the clock spring thing and behind the steering wheel, obviously something's gone awry there with a horn. So I've got to take all that apart again and see what's that. But other than that, it got a clean bill of health. It's got new, apparently, well, looks fairly new, Bilstein shocks and springs on the front. It's got new brakes, it's got new track rod ends, it's got loads of bits done to it. So it's actually not a bad little car. The only thing we did notice was the aircon condenser is missing. So I'm going to need to pull the front end off, take the condenser off of the white one and fit it on. But we won't worry about that until it's MOT'd. We're going to get it MOT'd, get it fixed, get it retested, and then we can bring it in and do that. So I'll report back once I've fitted the wishbones, and then we'll start looking at the horn. Ooh, it's MOT'd. We put 2 new lower arms on. I'll insert pictures here. And I took the steering wheel off, put it back on, and the horn started working. So there must have been a dodgy connection. So all we've got on there as an advisory is the rear brake pipe, but I showed you that already and it looks clean as a whistle to me. So I don't know, just let him have that one. So yeah, I think we'll do, again, a few miles in this, make sure it's all good. I did notice, I can't remember if I've said or not, the aircon condenser is missing. So I'm going to take the one off of this and then attempt to put it in there. So that'll be some more updates coming soon. But first off, obviously, I'll get this one stripped down. Then I'll know exactly what needs to come off to get to it all. So, right, next job.